Hey, what's up guys? We are here with another house hack video tour. This is actually like a hop, skip, and a jump away from my place, the house hack number 3. I'll put it up in the card right here so you guys can check it out itself. Here, this is where Chad Rocke of the FI team, his house hack is right here. So he's not exactly living in it, but he has a couple of partners living in the basement, operating an Airbnb on top, and it's looking solid. Watch to the end of the video to actually see the actual revenue and the numbers behind it. But all in all, this is a quiet neighborhood. I mean, the lawn looks, okay, but at least it's approachable, right? There's a lot more to it than just the outside. There's a lot more inside that goes into it. 2 kitchens, 2 units, all in one single family home price. Let's go!
What's up, Ian? Welcome to my crib. We're in Twin Lakes here, which is just about 12 minutes north of downtown Denver. This is a 5-bed, 2-bath. It's 2 separate units. And so we Airbnb the 3-bed, 1-bath upstairs. And then we have a 2-bed, 1-bath that we put a kitchenette in downstairs. And actually my partner and his brother live downstairs. We also do have the 2-car garage. Let's go in and check it out. All right, so like I said, this is the Airbnb. We bought this as a flip, so it was actually a hoarder house previous to us buying it, and the flippers came in, they did an awesome job. The neighbors are happy that we took over because we heard that the grass was like 6 feet tall and it wasn't touched in like 20 years, and they came in and they flipped it. And so kitchen area here, I mean, one of the things that I always look at is like, how does it photograph? So we want to make sure that, obviously on Airbnb, you have about 3 seconds to sell your house. And so, when I walk in the door, nice stainless steel appliances, a nice range hood, cabinets look nice, countertops look nice. And so that's what caught my eye when we first looked at it, was a nice like aesthetics, like it photographs well. Little dining room area. I will say it was my wife and my partner's girlfriend that helped us design this one, and this is the best looking one. Number one takeaway actually is that, like, have some help designing, because that's not our cup of tea. And so, bathroom here, stand-up shower, nice 2 sinks, and again, it looks good. Like, it's tiled, floor's nice. Bedroom number 1 here, so we did a queen bed. We do have luggage racks, and I think that's important. We get good feedback about that. Also, the lamps are USB plug-in lamps, and they're touch lamps. We've gotten good feedback about that too. So, and then here's bedroom number 2. This one has a king bed. So we have 2 kings and a queen. And that's actually kind of our tag headline, is like all new 2 king memory foam bedrooms. So that's bedroom number 2. Let's check out number 3. It's the biggest one out of them. Work from home space. So all of the Airbnbs, I like to always have a work from home space. I think that's big for the algorithms on Airbnb. They want to have you see that. But another king bed, and then just a closet there. So we have a cleaning team that does all. So we have 5 Airbnbs and they do all of it. So we've kind of gotten on a good schedule with them. And we do have a locked closet in the front. All of our properties have a locking closet that just the cleaners have access to. And so that's all the backup. We have 2 sets of everything, so they can turn it quickly. She's been doing Airbnb cleaning forever, so she kind of knows the system. I just, like, as far as the towels, like, she just does her thing. And so this property is the one property that doesn't have washer and dryer. So she takes this one with her, and we just have 2 of everything so they can rotate it. All the other properties have washer dryer on site, so they typically will do it there, but they don't have to. We also have 2 sets of everything in case something comes up, or we have a last minute booking where they can get in, they can turn it, they can take the laundry with them if they have to. So that's the upstairs. That's the one thing. This one does not have a washer dryer, but that's just something that we definitely want to have in the Airbnb posting of, this is an upper unit. You could potentially hear people downstairs. You might see them walk through the backyard. The backyard we do have shared, so they have access to the grill out there and they can use it. It's a fenced-in area, but just making it very well known that this is a 2-unit place and you might see people, so there's no surprises. And then the washer and dryer, that's been the one thing we're kind of working on. I mean, there's potential. We've thought about maybe putting some sort of stackable, possibly right there. So that's the door to go downstairs that we just lock. So this is technically a single family house, but this is the door that goes right downstairs. So if we want to rent this as a whole entire house, unlock it, boom, full entire house. It's now a 5-bedroom, 2-bath house. If we want a short-term rent up here, it's a 3-bed, 1-bath, and then we have the downstairs unit. So we have all the options in the world of, you know, up, down, and we can always make this into a full house rental. One other thing just to point out too, I always like to have the keypads. I hate keys. One tip on that, these do have batteries, so the batteries can die. What we want to do is always have a lockbox with a spare key in it. So in that emergency situation, the batteries die, you forget to change them, they can't get in, hey, there's a lockbox in the back, here's the code, let yourself in. Have rings on all of them as well, just to keep, you know, we want to make sure everything's going on. Both of them have batteries, so that's one of the maintenance things of having somebody or yourself, or just be aware of. Trash is one, and the batteries, and then restocking like toilet paper, but I've got that on a dial now with Amazon auto ship. It's great. Heading to the back here, you know, the driveway situation, we have street parking, so this is something else you always want to keep in mind of what the parking looks like. You got to have enough off-street parking or communication too. You know, we tell people that they can park in the driveway, and the downstairs guests are aware of that, so they kind of park off to the side here, but just being very communicative of, you know, where you can park and where you can't park, so you're not parking people in. So you can see there is our lockbox. We have, so, you know, spare key, boom, right there. My partner, well, my 2 partners, they're brothers. We're in on this house together, and so they live downstairs. And so this is how they access this, and the idea is when they move out, you know, we can long-term rent it, we can short-term rent it, we can short-term rent the whole entire house, whatever we want to do. But at this point in time, we Airbnb upstairs, and then Chris and Mike live downstairs. Little backyard area, do have a grill, it's kind of a patio area. It's a little bit work in progress, to tell you the truth. Our landscaping is needs some work. So this is another piece of to be determined, but you know, a sunroom. They laid some LVP, and we could do whatever we want to do with it. We thought maybe a game room, to be determined on this, but right now it's just a screened in sun porch. So, but yeah, this is then the back door and the entrance for the downstairs. So as you come in, you know, you can see this is where we were inside. That's the kitchen door. So you open that up and you have a full house. All right, so I guess we'll start going this way. This again was all redone, new carpet, new paint, new trim. This, you can see, was left from the previous, but nice glittery fireplace from the 60s. Living room area, one idea we did have is, as you know, Ian, rent by the room strategy, bedrooms equal money. So there's a possibility of, you know, we make this into another bedroom, just basically putting up a wall right here. We'll probably just drywall over that fireplace. Potentially open this up a little bit more over here, where this would be your living room. But for now, this is kind of just dining room, living room for Chris and Mike that are living down here. So this is, Chris hangs out in here. We need to have egress windows. So that's always one thing, I'd say 90% of the time when I'm looking at houses, that they pretty much all need egress windows. And then here, I'm gonna check out the bathroom. You know, stand-up shower. It looks good, tiled. Vanity's new, lights are new. So even like a rent by the room scenario, this would photograph pretty well. So the windows, you can see the smaller windows in this room, the non-egress window in the bedroom. We were gonna replace those smaller windows, and we had to order those about a month and a half ago because of some supply chain issues, as I'm sure a lot of you know. This then is the second bedroom down here. So this is where Mike is in here. It's a pretty deep closet in there as well. Nice. But so this is we did this work in here. This is basically the only thing that we did do. This was just a laundry room. It was a washer dryer, and that was it. And so we had somebody come in, a contractor come in. We told him about it. It was about 3 weeks later. He started it, and he was done in about a week and a half. So he made quick work, but framed this all out. So the furnace and the water heater are behind here. Frame that out, put the hood in, ran some electrical, a lot of electrical, all new kind of plugs, and then it's a butcher block, countertop, cabinets. It's a little cramped, but to be honest, like for 2 people, you know, you're living for free, you're making money, like, this is the worst that it can be. You have a little bit of a small kitchen, you know, I think in my mind it's worth it. I want to say about $15,000 to do all this, all the framing, all the electrical work. We had to run a new electrical panel. It was a little bit too small for when you get a range and you start getting all these more appliances in here. The electrical box was too small, so we had to upgrade the electrical panel. The one thing I look at when I see a house is, do you have plumbing and do you have the space? And so obviously the plumbing, the washer and dryer like sat here, and there's plumbing right behind here. So okay, boom, we got the plumbing. We can run dishwasher, we can garbage disposal, sink, all goes there. And then it was just a matter of kind of framing it out and bringing the electrical in. All right, so now we're gonna talk a little numbers on the place. So this was purchased as a primary home. Chris, my business partner, and his brother lived downstairs. Chris bought this as his primary house. And so he put 5% down, which was about $28,000. So the purchase price was $575. And so him and his brother live downstairs. They pay $600. So they're not living for free, but a very reduced amount of rent. And essentially this is a partnership, so they're pretty much paying themselves. The mortgage is $3,600. For July, like we said, we run the upstairs. It's just a full Airbnb. July was our first full month. We got it up towards the end of June. But July we had about 75% occupied. There was about 8 days not occupied in July. And it was about $250 per night. So we did about $4,200 on income for upstairs. Downstairs with Chris and Mike paying $1,200 total. So we're looking at about $5,400 in total income for the month when our mortgage payment is $3,600. You know, expenses aren't accounted for that, but as you can see, you know, some pretty good numbers. A lot of people, a misconception out there is that you have to have 20% down. That's just not true whatsoever. You can also partner up, and I mean that's what I've kind of done with Chris on this property and a couple others, is partner up, and I don't have to bring $30,000, or Chris didn't have to, so we've partnered up, and this is just an investment property that he happens to be living in, and we'll go from there. So.